Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we're going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Welcome everyone. The next episode of the Practiceology Podcast, the science of running a highly profitable allied health business that works without you, and what Practiceology Podcast episode or program would be complete without the great Brian Gallagher. Brian, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
No, thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, now we'll get into the formal introduction of Brian Gallagher. In 1997, Brian founded what became one of Maryland's largest therapy staffing companies, while at the same time he launched a multi-site private practice, which he then sold in 2006. He reacquired it in 2008, doubled it, won Practice of the Year in 2011, so he's done some big things. He's then founded MEG Business Management in 2006 as an education coaching company, training owners and their key employees on innovative practice management strategies. Today, MEG has taken a major leap forward by developing a virtual training platform that practice owners can now have the tools and training resources to professionally enhance, track and manage employee compliance. MEG's involved in PT billing solutions, credential services, website support, and he was also one of the featured speakers on the World Physiotherapy and Physical Therapy Business Success Summit, which you can find at summit.physio. Now, Brian, you know the format here. We've got a 7 fast-minute format. We're gonna simultaneously start our countdown timers. And are you ready? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready. Tell me when to hit start.
Away you go.
All right, here we go.
All right. Question 1, Brian, as we move through, who is your ideal client? So who is the ideal client you service?
There are 2 ideal clients. The first ideal client is a startup client, somebody who's sitting on the sidelines working for somebody and they're looking to start a practice. And what I like to share about that is those folks have to come up what we call awareness characteristics. Many of us are looking around at our life today, especially after coming out of 2020, and we're saying, we really want to see things change. I'm hoping for change. And then they get to the point where, I really need to make a change. I absolutely need to make a change. But when that person calls me up and they're in that office and they're like, I am engineered to do more. I have to open that practice and I demand a change. They're demanding a change, or they have an existing practice and they're not going to repeat what they've been doing. They're beating their fists on the table. That's my ideal client, one who's demanding change. In terms of existing owners, that's what I'm looking for in a startup owner. Like, not somebody who's window shopping, but somebody who's just like, I'm ready to change my life and I want to do it now. Existing owners, I've been saying in my theory is there's 4 types of PT owners in this world. There's 4 types. There's the innocent owner, the caregiver owner, the know-it-all owner, and then my ideal client, the go-getter owner. The go-getter owner, by definition, is that one who knows what they know, but they know what they don't know, and they're willing to take in whatever it's going to take to fill that vacuum. That is the ideal client for us.
All right. Question 2, with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left.
I know.
What is the problem you solve, Brian? What do you do?
Well, I can boil it down into one bucket, and it's F.U.D, F-U-D. And I've been hearing this on YouTube, and I said, man, that really indicates to me. So many people walk around with fear, undecisiveness, and doubt. And that is what we try to fill. We try to fill that vacuum and get them off of experiencing F.U.D.
I love the F.U.D. Question 3, with 5 minutes left. What are the typical symptoms people experience with F.U.D?
I've experienced this myself. Maybe you have, Paul, and maybe some of you listening. When you're in a position where you don't quite know what to do to move forward, but you know where you've been and you don't want to go back to that, you're sitting there and you have that degree of unknown, that degree of mystery, you will choose to do nothing. And that's what F.U.D does to you. It causes you to be paralyzed and freezes you in space because it's safer for you just to stay where you are as opposed to trying something new.
Yeah. Okay. Question 4, common mistakes people make when they're trying to solve F.U.D.
Overanalyze. They overanalyze. They just overanalyze. I had somebody on my lines just last week saying, you know what, Brian, I really want to open my practice, but I'm looking at the new administration. I'm looking at the new tax laws. I'm looking at, this. And I said, you know what, man, there's always going to be something. The weather's going to change. The administration's going to change. Are you going to wait 4 years? Look, I say this to the people who are listening. Take a snapshot of you today, a snapshot of you 5 years from now. And if it doesn't look like it's changed very much, then what are you doing? Like, that's the mistake. You're just sitting in paralysis and you're not making any movement to change your life. And I just want to see you get up every day and say, I want to have a better today than yesterday.
There's too many options. Too many choices.
Too many choices and too many things to listen to and stuff like that. I'm like, do your evaluation, observe, decide, and act.
Yeah. Question 5, with 3 minutes and 36 seconds left. What is one valuable free action that Practiceology podcast audience members can implement? What can they do to solve this FUD problem?
Invest in themselves. Sign up with Paul, do Paul's training program, sign up with my program and do our, look, there was a time when you decided to become a physical therapist, but you just didn't go out because you decided to become a physical therapist, start treating people. You had to go to school first. So you invested, probably $100,000 if you're in the States in your skill set as a physical therapist. So then that you would have the ability to go out and treat patients. If you're going to be a private practice owner who's successful, you have to invest time and money in yourself as a business owner, as a personnel manager to succeed at it. So you don't have FUD. You don't have the fear and undecisiveness and doubt moving forward. So
was it one of the mentors that said your formal education will get you a job, but your personal education will make you a fortune?
Absolutely. That is so true. And so for us, I can do a practice assessment with anyone around the country. It will cost you nothing. We'll be on a Zoom for an hour or two. That's my free valuable action to you. Have a dialogue, pick my brain for the 29 years experience, and whatever you decide to do after that, at least you're in a more informed position.
Well, that was question 6, Brian, with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left. What is one valuable free resource you can direct people to so they can, where do they go and what can they do to help them with FUD?
They can go to the website, www.megbusiness.com. You can click free practice assessment. You can click the PT practice health checklist. You can look at our Zoomcast, our podcast, and you can listen to the testimonials of other owners just like you. There is such a thing, and I'm sure you're aware of this, Paul, the Amazon effect, where Amazon ran a study in 2017 that said 83% of all purchases are done after people read the reviews. So people even who want to sign up and do stuff with us, I'm like, no, you got to go listen to some reviews. You got to go talk to some folks. I don't want you to make a bad decision and then regret it. You got to know what in fact you're buying, right? So I really am a big fan of reviews.
What's the website again, Brian? Where do they go?
They go to www.megbusiness.com.
And also you got a great podcast. Where do they find the podcast and what's the title?
Yeah, podcast is all over the place on every platform that you hear podcasts on, Spotify and iTunes and so on and so forth. It's called Physical Therapy Private Practice, Secrets of the Top 10%. Secrets of the Top 10%. And Paul, you know why it's called Secrets of the Top 10%?
It's a secret.
When I won Practice of the Year, this is interesting. I won Practice of the Year. I didn't know this, but I then became a judge where I could read the top 20 submittals for the next 5 years and judge and weigh in on who should win the next year's thing. And then I spread them all out on my table and I started highlighting, and I found these common denominators between these top 10% of practices across the country. And that's what I've incorporated into that podcast. And that's what I put out there.
All right, here's a challenge for you. With 40 seconds left, what's the one question I should have asked you that would give great value to our audience?
Gosh, you should have asked me, what is the biggest thing that holds people back from actually growing? I mean, my company's name is MEG, Management Expansion Group. And so we get a lot of people that are stagnant. And so one question is, Brian, why do people stagnate in private practice? They stagnate because they start to run their business from a viewpoint of scarcity. You can never grow your practice if you're looking at it from a viewpoint of scarcity. I don't want to spend any more than I need to. I only want to do this. I'm going to limit my reach. You become risk averse. The only way you're going to expand yourself and grow is if you live, think, eat, and breathe from a viewpoint of abundance. I have an abundance of love to give to my wife. I'm going to have a flourishing marriage. I have abundance of love, time, and attention to give my children. I'm going to have a wonderful family household. I have abundance of information, knowledge, experience, training, acknowledgments, validation to give to my staff. You're going to have an abundance of company culture in your staff. So don't live your life with scarcity viewpoint. Take on an abundance viewpoint.
You're a champion, Brian. Thanks so much for being part of the Practiceology podcast.
You got it, my friend. Thank you very much.